Hey Chanel, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You having a good weekend so far?
So far, so good, actually.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for joining today. And you're my first one for the new year. I've been on break for a little while with all the
Great,
holidays. So
great.
I'm so glad I get to start the new year with you.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
So, for those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, we are doing these videos to advocate and educate people about the SMA world and community and show that there are all different types of SMA and different ages of people with SMA. And that's why we're just trying to show people out there. So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us your name and where you're from.
Hey, hi everybody. My name is Shanell Davis, and I am from Buffalo, New York. It's
Oh, wow.
very cold here right now.
I was about to say, is it freezing over there?
Yes, it is. And we just actually got a notification that we may get a storm Monday that might spread till Wednesday. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
That's us too. I'm actually in Louisiana, and which we never get snow down here. And
Yeah.
I just saw that they're predicting that we could get up to 8 inches.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's a
I'm
lot for
like,
you guys. That's like
eh,
a cakewalk for
yeah, for y'all, that's probably nothing, huh?
yeah. But
Oh, wow. I bet you don't like to go outside in the cold, do you?
I don't. I always say I should have been somewhere where it's warm because besides, just not liking the snow, my
Mm.
muscles get cramped so bad in the cold. As you probably know, it's cold is not good for my bones and stuff like that.
Me either. I don't feel like I can move as well when it's cold.
Yes,
Y-
exactly.
Yeah. And then I hate wearing layers because then you feel like you can't
Oh,
move.
I hate layers. So I decided to because I typically don't like to wear coats and stuff because I
Hmm.
don't like to be bunched because it's hard to move. So I
Hmm.
just bought a poncho from Shein actually, and that helps so much without having to be all bunched up and stuff.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to send me the link to the one you got. Because I
Yeah,
have one from a long time ago and I love it, but it's starting to look bad because I wear it a lot.
yeah. This one is it's very cute actually. It's pretty long. It reaches to my feet. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't it's not like a poncho that goes over you. It kind of has like the sleeves and it kind of
Mm-hmm.
wraps around, but it's really nice. Oh,
Oh, well, that's awesome. Yeah,
yes,
I'll have to look at that. Well,
yes.
go ahead and tell everyone what type of SMA do you have?
So I actually have SMA type 2. I know when I was first diagnosed, my mom always said that it was a mixture of type 1 and type 2. But I remember a few years ago when I started Spinraza and I had to get like the genetic testing again, it was just
Mhm.
type 2. So I know I was born in the 90s, so it's probably more advanced now. So
Yes, yes. Did you have blood work to be diagnosed or were you a muscle biopsy?
actually, I did blood work. I also did like a spit
Mm-hmm.
test where I was
Mm-hmm.
just able to like spit in a tube.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know they could do that. Well, that's pretty awesome.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, that's cool. So, do you know how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was 2 years old when I was diagnosed. Yes.
Were you able to walk ever or anything or no?
Not independently. I was always able to use like a walker.
Hmm.
But soon that stopped. But never independently was I able to walk.
Okay, so you've always used a wheelchair.
Pretty much wheelchair or stroller. I actually got my first power chair when I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I did too, I know, and I'll never forget my principal at my
Yeah.
school was like, called my mom and was like, is this safe for her to drive? So I always say if we could drive vehicles, we'd probably be the best drivers because
Yeah.
we've done it for so long.
Exactly. Exactly.
I know. So how old are you now currently?
I am 30. I turned 30 back in June. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was a big birthday, a big milestone, huh?
It was, but I really didn't do anything because I was just not in a great headspace at the time. So I didn't really want to celebrate too much. Which sucked because it is a big birthday. But this year for my 31st, I plan on, having a big birthday party.
Yes, you should, for sure. Well, that's neat.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about, did you go to school growing up? Were you in public school or were you homeschooled or what?
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm,
I actually was in public school. I started off at a little elementary school. I think it was like a Head Start program called the
mhm,
Cannellation Center.
mhm,
This was back in like 98, probably when I was about 4. And then I went on to a school for kids with disabilities.
mhm.
And it was attached to one of the local hospitals here in Buffalo. It's still
Oh,
around. It's still around now, but they changed the program to where it's for kids who may have more needs than other kids.
mhm,
So they end up taking a group of us out of the school when I was in 8th grade. That was my last year, and they put us into mainstream schools. So I was
mhm,
able to go into like what they call a normal high school, and I was able to actually test out of the special education curriculum
mhm.
and go into mainstream classes.
Well, that's good. Did you have an assistant at school with you, or how did you do it?
So I didn't have a personal carry in school
Uh-huh.
until I was probably in 6th grade. And then
Mhm.
I've always had one up until high school. And then once I graduated high school, I went to college, and that was it. Yes.
Oh, awesome. Where did you go to college?
So I went to college in Pennsylvania. It's a school called Edinburgh University. At the
Mhm.
time, it was called Edinburgh University, but the name has changed to Penn West Edinburgh.
Mhm.
They had a program there for students with disabilities to where they could stay on campus and receive 24-hour care.
Wow.
Yes, but they dissolved of the program. I want to say back in either I think 2018, maybe 2017 or 18. They
Mhm.
dissolved of that program, and also the occupational therapy program that they had on campus.
Wow. So they provided like caregivers for you. You didn't have to do any of that?
No, so we paid for it. Obviously, we had to pay for it, and it was
Mhm.
quite expensive. But they staffed the personal care aides in the dorm that we stayed in. So
Mhm.
they had shifts, and they broke it into like first shift, second shift, and third shift. So there was always someone there with us all at all times. Yeah.
Wow. That is pretty cool. I wish they would do that at all universities.
Yeah, I think we were like one of the main ones that had that program. I know there were other schools, but to that extent, I think we were probably the one that had like the most care. And we had some pretty good people working there. A lot of them we had got close relationships to, and so it
Mhm.
kind of sucked when I heard that the program was being dissolved.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's crazy, I guess. Maybe because they did have the funding. I don't know. Um, Oh, well, what did you major in?
So I majored in social work, but I was not able to finish my degree because of some issues with the local access VR, which is the vocational program that helped
Yes.
pay for
Mm-hmm.
my college. There were some
Mm-hmm.
issues with them, so I wasn't able to finish my degree, which sucked. But I think I'm doing pretty well for myself. Besides,
Oh, well, that's too bad.
yeah,
Maybe you could, have you ever thought about trying to go back and finish
I
online?
have, but I
Mm.
owe the college money, and because of that, they won't release my transcripts. So I would have to start my degree over, and I was almost finished. Yeah,
Oh, no,
yeah.
that's not good. Oh, wow. Yeah, we have vacation rehab here as well in Louisiana.
Mhm.
And, I know, thank God for them because they help so much
Yeah.
with school and
Mhm.
jobs and all of that. So, well, so while we're talking about this, go ahead and tell us what are you working currently right now or?
I do. I actually work for the local disability service agency
Mm-hmm.
here in Western New York. I work in the advocacy department.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually was just promoted to the senior advocate in my department, which has supervisory responsibilities, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So do you have to go in or is it
I
virtual?
do. I do. I actually go into the office
Mm-hmm.
2 times a week, but I just said I was probably going to start going in 3 times. And I
Mm-hmm.
also do have meetings at home sometimes too. But for the majority, I like to do it in the office. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. And I saw too, or you actually told me before the interview, you have a lip gloss business as well, correct?
Yes. So I started a lip gloss business last year actually. And I'm still like in the process of like really putting it out there because it's
Mm-hmm.
so new, and I've been going through my own personal thing, so I'm just trying to maintain it. But it's called Smooch, and I started it working with a life coach through
Mm-hmm.
a program we have called Self Direction, where
Mm-hmm.
it basically you get this big amount of money from the state where you can
Mm-hmm.
pay staff to come in and like help you with personal goals and help take you out shopping and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
my life coach actually helped me start my business, told me how to go and get my DBA, so I was able to go and get my DBA for my business. She helped me like develop the formulas for the lip gloss and even helped me produce it. So
Wow,
yes.
that's awesome. So the life coach is through the self-direction program?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, because see, I have the self-direction as well. Do you have Acumen or who do you go through? Is it Acumen or what's that?
No, so
Uh,
actually, what we have in New York State, we have a agency called OPWDD,
Oh,
which
hi.
is the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
and they pay smaller agencies
Mm-hmm.
the money. So they're the state,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have the local agencies, and
Mm-hmm.
the local agency is actually the agency I work for as well.
Oh.
And they have
Oh.
the self-directed program in the agency. So they get paid through the agency that I work for as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how it kind of works here too.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that's good to know because a lot of people don't know. Like I know, for instance, I never knew about self-direction
Hmm.
until a few years ago. It's like they don't want to put it out there. They don't want
Yeah.
you to know about it. And then a friend of mine who actually has some two kids with SMA. She was the one that told me because I was with an agency and they were paying my caregivers like barely minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
And she's
Yeah.
like, no, you need to get this self-direction program because then all of the money can go directly to your caregivers instead of having to pay an agency, you know?
Yeah. So we have the consumer directed program,
Mm-hmm.
which is for personal care specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And then the self-direction is more so like goal settings and basically
Mm-hmm.
things to self-direct your life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I have people that come in, they're called self-determination assistants, where they
Mm-hmm.
come in and they may help me cook dinner. If I need to go grocery shopping, they can help me go grocery shopping. If I want to
Mm-hmm.
join a gym, they can help me go to the gym and stuff like that. So things like that. And then also my life coach comes in and she helps me, with my business plan, with like budgeting, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, that's really awesome. Well, it sounds like you have a good setup over there.
Yeah, for the
For
most
sure.
part.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do you have trouble finding personal care attendants, or is
Oh,
it pretty easy for you, or what?
it is not easy at
No,
I'm actually going through that right now. It is very stressful actually. Um,
it
you
is.
think you find someone and then they turn out not to be good and then you have
Yeah.
to let them go and it's just a back and forth and honestly it almost create like a PTSD of trying to find staff because you get so used to people just not doing what they're supposed to do or not
Mhm.
wanting to work and it's very stressful.
It is. I feel that way too. Like when I interview someone, I'm like, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're a
Yeah.
good person. They're gonna do what they say they're gonna do. But it's so hard because, like you said, we've been burned so many
Yes.
times,
Yeah.
that it's hard to, I guess, have trust in people. But
Definitely. I do have one staff that I've had for it'll be 8 years at the end of this month. And
wow.
she has been with me for so long. And we've gone through a lot together. So she's become our family.
Yes, yes, yes. I have a few like that that'll work for me, and those you want to hold on to
Yeah.
as long as you can,
Yes.
because they're rare and they're few and far between. But well, how do you go about finding people? How do you advertise?
So usually like Facebook or I did care.com before which worked out and then it didn't work out. I did just recently open one and I had a couple people apply and then
Mm-hmm.
didn't show up for interviews and
Mm-hmm.
it just put a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what I've noticed, of course, I live in a small town, so it may be a little different, but every time I go to log in, it's like the same people.
Yes, it's the
Uh,
same thing here to what
y-
the yeah.
Yes, it's like the same people have been on there for years, and
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, what is wrong? Like, what, do they not have jobs by now? Or,
Exactly. Yeah.
it makes you wonder, why are they still on there
Mhm.
this long? But yeah, I know. I've tried Indeed too. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but um,
I've never tried Indeed, but I have thought about it because my mom owns a business and she told me I should probably try Indeed before.
mhm. Yeah, I found one person. She ended up not working out, but she did show up for the interview at least and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try again because I'm actually looking for another part-time person. So
Yeah, I'm looking for more people as well because my one staff that I have who's been with me, she's gonna have a baby. So
yeah.
I have to find someone so when she goes on maternity leave.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know that's so hard when they tell you they're having a baby.
Yeah,
You want to be happy for him, but at the same time, you're like, no.
exactly,
Uh,
exactly.
I know, because you know they can't work for you, and
Yeah.
I know. Well, tell us, you told us that you've been in a wheelchair, using a wheelchair since you were 5. What
Yeah.
other medical equipment do you use in your everyday life?
So I have a Hoyer lift, an electric one,
Mm-hmm.
which is how I get in and out of bed, into my wheelchair, into the
Mm-hmm.
shower and stuff. I have a
Mm-hmm.
shower chair that I use
Mm-hmm.
to get in the shower. I do have a rolling shower, so that's good. I
Yeah.
also have like my nebulizers and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But for the most part, the biggest thing will be my chair and my Hoyer and my shower chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, how do you do it whenever you travel? Do you have a portable Hoyer to travel with, or what do you do?
So I haven't done like a ton of traveling, but when I do travel for work, there's some people that will let us borrow like Hoyer lifts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily there's other places where you can rent a Hoyer lift from.
Mm-hmm.
So but that's typically what I do. I just borrow a Hoyer lift for people.
Yeah, yeah, I have one that actually you can fold it up.
I didn't know
Um,
that. Oh,
yeah, it works really well. It can fold up, and so you can take it with you. I mean, it's still kind of bulky, but you can
okay.
take it. Um, but yeah, but a lot of people told me at the conference this summer that wherever they go, they just find a medical equipment place
Uh-huh.
and they call the place and they rent the lift and have it delivered to the hotel. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I haven't done that, but it's pretty awesome to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know here in Buffalo, I know my apartment had to be renovated. They were fixing my floors in my apartment, and I
Hmm.
had to stay in a hotel. And I was able to just call like the local guy who fixes my wheelchair, and he let
Hmm.
me borrow the Hoyer lift for the couple days that I was at the hotel, and he just picked it up from the hotel when we were done with it.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't have ways to carry it,
Hmm.
especially flying.
Yes.
I flew with the one that folds up one time, and oh, it was a lot because you have your suitcase and then you have that and the people. I mean, thankfully we had a lot of people with us, but yeah, it's hard to lug around. So uh,
Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah, yeah. So you don't so you said you have a nebulizer, like a treatment machine, but you don't sleep with any BiPAP or anything.
No, I
Mm-hmm.
probably should, honestly. I know my neurologist had mentioned it to me before.
Mm-hmm.
And my aide does say like sometimes she'll hear me when I'm sleeping that I may like catch my breath or something. But I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm just nervous about sleeping with one on my face.
Yeah, yeah, it is nerve-wracking. I didn't start sleeping with one till I was about, it's about 4 years ago. So I was in my late 30s and but I just have the one that goes in your nose. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't have the full face. No, I told my pulmonologist that right away. I said, I'm not doing full face because I can't get it off to holler if I need to.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, I mean, I think it does leak sometimes because
Okay.
I think I do breathe through my mouth sometimes, but no, I refuse to get the full face too.
Okay.
So, but they said the leak isn't that bad, so they think it's doing good, but yeah, if you're fine without it, well then, you know,
So far I'm okay.
Yeah, and you would start to be able to tell because you probably would wake yourself up, and stuff like that. So, well, that's good. Well, and what about your upper body strength? Do you have a lot of strength in your arms still, or?
No, not at all, honestly. I've
Mhm.
never been able to like lift my arms over my shoulders.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing like a little bit of weakness. Especially when it comes to eating, I get tired faster while
Mhm.
eating. I'm actually going to be trialing out a new assisted device called I think it's called the Ubi, where it's like a robot arm and it'll actually feed me, and I just have to push the buttons. So I'm going to be probably trialing that out soon in occupational therapy.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, you'll have to let me know how that goes.
Yeah, hopefully soon. I did talk to her about it the other day, and she had to talk to a couple people about when we can officially start it.
Yeah. Can you still feed yourself some or
I
no?
can, yeah, I can still
Yeah.
feed myself.
Mhm.
It's just it's tiring, and then
Mhm.
I end up, having to have my arm repositioned multiple times, and then the spilling. Like I always end up like drenching my shirt in food.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's a challenge, but
Yeah.
as long as we can still do it for a little while,
Hmm.
know, it's worth it for sure.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, that's how I am too. I have to prop my arm up like on that Dyson material, so it
Oh,
doesn't slide. My like keeps my elbow from sliding.
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever tried that, but
I've never tried that before.
yeah. Actually, I bought it. It's actually a little stickier than Dyson. I just found them on Amazon. They're called like gel elbow pads or
Huh.
something. And they stick to like the countertop and then they're sticky kind of for your elbow and it keeps it from sliding. So yeah, I think I ordered them off of Amazon. So if you're interested, I could send you the link maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Do
Because
you
I,
want?
I don't typically eat at a table just because of my
Mhm.
back. So I usually like cross my leg and have like the plate or something sitting like on my lap with obviously something underneath it so it doesn't burn my leg. And
Uh-huh.
my aids, I usually have to like move my arm to like the center of my body and like stand it up straight. And then and then it ends up always falling back, of course. So I have to move it again. It's very frustrating.
Well, it is. I know. And then you tell them, move it a little bit that way, move it a
Yep.
little bit this way.
Yep.
I know. And that's what's so crazy. OTs sometimes want to suggest all the different things. I'm like, yep, I've tried that.
Uh-huh.
I've tried that. I've tried that. But we're all different. Like, even though we all have SMA, we
Exactly.
all have to have certain positions and
Yeah.
if we're not the same, that's for sure.
Yeah. I've tried pillows before. I've tried
Hmm.
like bunching a towel up there. Just nothing works because either it's too much or there's not enough.
Yes, yes. So tell us about your family. Do you have any siblings or anything?
I do.
Mhm.
I have siblings from my mom and siblings from my dad. I
Mhm.
am the eldest on both sides.
Mhm.
I was raised with my mom's children, of course. My mom
Mhm.
has five. There's five of us, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and there's me, and then there's my brother who's right underneath me. I have
Mhm.
two sisters after that, and then my baby brother who also has a disability. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yes.
So does he have SMA or it's something different?
No, he
Yeah.
actually has an intellectual disability from birth. His my mom in labor, I guess the doctor kind of made a mistake and he ended up getting too much oxygen to his brain. So he's partially brain damaged.
Uh,
Yes, and he has epilepsy.
oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So do you know of anyone in your family with SMA or no?
No, I don't know
Uh,
anyone in my family with
mhm.
SMA.
Yeah, I know that's so weird too. Some people, have cousins or
Yeah,
distant, and then some people don't have any. So you just don't know. Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy, but well, well, what about do you have any hobbies you like to do?
Yes, so I love music. So I love listening to music. I typically listen to music throughout the whole day. Watching movies, horror movies is my thing.
Oh,
Catching up on yeah. I love Halloween. Halloween is like my favorite holiday.
oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, I love going out to the mall sometimes and going to get my nails done, even though I haven't been able to do that in a while. But I do like to like go out shopping and going out to eat. But I definitely when I'm at home is like watching TV and watching all like the reality shows and stuff like that. Yes.
Oh, I love reality shows too.
Yes. And Grey's Anatomy is a big one.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I haven't watched it in a while. When I was in college, we watched it all the time.
I love Grey's Anatomy. I started watching it with my mom,
Uh,
and I just got hooked onto it. So I've been watching it for a while now. I didn't start it at the beginning, but I quickly caught up and just been hooked ever since.
wow. Oh, I love your nails. Those are pretty.
Oh, they actually need to be. I need to fill. I haven't been able to go to the nail salon in so long because I hadn't had staff on the weekends for a
Uh,
while, so I didn't have anybody to go with me. But hopefully that'll be changing.
yes, yes. So do you have I know we should have talked about this in the medical equipment, but do you have an accessible vehicle?
I don't. I
Oh,
don't.
you
Which,
don't.
yeah, which definitely sucks because transportation is probably one of the hardest things for people with disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So here in Buffalo, I think other states has it. We have it here called Peer Transit, which is attached
Okay.
to our local metro
Uh-huh.
system. So I can use that to like go to work and go to like different things that I want to do in the community. And
Yeah.
I also have Medicaid transportation for medical appointments and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, in larger cities, it's easier to find that than smaller cities for sure. So,
Yes. I did find out though, if you utilize the
uh-huh.
peer transit system in your city, you can actually use it in any city.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes. Yes, it is. So how they explained it to say if I wanted to go to like Atlanta or somewhere, I could
Mm-hmm.
call their local services and tell them like I receive services in New York State and I will need services there and I can get connected with their services on a
Service
visitor
there.
pass. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I used it when we went to Austin last summer for the
Oh,
conference, and the hotel called, and they were there within like 5 minutes to pick us up. And I
oh,
was like, wow, this is awesome.
I'm hoping to go to the conference this year. I got the scholarship.
Uh-huh.
I just need to make sure that I'm able to like pay for it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, curious to me will help you a lot, that's for sure. Um, yeah, is it, would this be your first time?
It would be my first time. I was
Okay.
supposed to go back in 2020. I got the scholarship and then COVID happened. So that
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but they will help you a lot with you and an assistant.
Yes.
Um, so, and I think if it's your first time, sometimes they'll give you like extra stuff with your scholarship.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have to ask your SME like about it all, but yeah, so that'd be awesome if you get to go. It's an amazing experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, a friend of mine from college, she goes a few times. Yes.
Oh, it's amazing. Last summer was the first time I had ever gone, and I fell in love with it. It was amazing being with all the same people like
Yeah.
you, and everybody understood everybody, and
Yes.
it was just an amazing experience. So yeah, well, I hope you get to go. 'Cause-
Yeah, I actually didn't know a whole lot of people growing up with SMA in school.
Mm.
Sorry, my eyes are bothering me a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's okay. If you need a break, you can.
I think I'm okay to that.
Okay.
So I went to school with two guys who had SMA who I was friends with. And then
Oh,
once I went to college, I
mm-hmm.
met a girl there who had SMA. And that was my first time ever meeting another woman with SMA.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't go to school with anybody. The closest person I knew growing up lived about 45 minutes from me.
Wow. That's
And and then I started going to NDA camp, but not till I was about 15. So then I met some more people there with it, but
yeah.
yeah, I was the only one in my town, like growing up, that was in a wheelchair for a
Wow.
long time. Yeah. So yeah, it was I wish
I-
I would have known people, but I
yeah.
never did.
I never went to MDA camp. I was always affiliated with their program. But
Mm-hmm.
I went to a local camp here for kids with disabilities and kids who may be underprivileged.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to go to that camp. I think the program at the time was about 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed now. I went there from the time I was about 10 till I was 16. And
Mm-hmm.
now my little sister is actually a counselor there.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Oh, that's so awesome.
yeah.
See, for some reason, since COVID, Louisiana quit having their camp. So now all the kids from Louisiana have to go to other states if they want to go to NDA camp. And I
Oh,
hate that because I'm like, they're missing out on so much, and I know I was hoping that my nieces and nephews one day would be able to be a counselor or volunteer,
uh-huh.
but now they just took it all away. It's crazy, but hopefully it will start back eventually in Louisiana. I hope so, but well, what are there any life hacks or assistive technology that you use to make your life easier?
Yeah, so really my Alexa device. I love that thing, whether it's just listening to music or
Yes.
if I drop my phone and I need to call someone to help me pick up my phone, I can use
Yeah.
that device. Um, I used to be able to control my microwave, but my microwave fried out, so I had to get a new one.
Okay.
Yeah. But I love that. Even like I have a back scratcher that I
Mhm.
use, and honestly, I hardly ever use it to scratch. It's like my grabber. If I need to reach something, I'll just use that to like reach out and pull it. Um,
That's a good idea. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, I also, keep like my keys around my neck at all times. My
Mm-hmm.
apartment actually has a button to where I just
Uh-huh.
have to push it and it opens my door and it automatically locks by itself. So that is something assistive that I use. I,
That's nice.
yeah. I'm actually working with my job to think of other ways to use Alexa to make things a little easier for people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on that to see what else I can do with Alexa.
Yeah, I know. She's pretty amazing. I use her all the time. Do you use her to turn your like your lamps and stuff on and off and
I have the
Mhm,
plugs, but I have not plugged them in yet. But
mhm.
I do plan on it. So I do have the smart plugs. And I'm going to because sometimes I'll forget to have my staff turn my lamp on, and then I'll be sitting here in the dark like,
I yeah, you should do that. It's real easy and I use it all the time. I even have a little space heater, electric heater plugged into a smart plug. So
oh really?
if I get cold or something, I just tell her to turn the heater on and it will turn it on. And yeah, so I know I love my Alexas too. Well, are you currently or have you in the past been on any treatments for SMA or no?
Not at the moment. I have received treatment in the past. Um, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to my doctor's office because it's in Rochester, and I don't think the service that I have now will go to Rochester.
Mhm.
And the doctor's office here in Buffalo did not accept my insurance at the time. So I have to just check in and see if I can find a place that will accept my insurance.
Yes, yes. Well, if what drug were you on?
So
And
I started off on Spinraza, and the reason why they stopped that was because it was taking too long for them to find an injection spot, because of my scoliosis.
Mhm,
And it was, that Spinraza should have only taken about 5 minutes or so to administer, and
mhm.
I would be there for hours.
Oh
And
wow.
they would have to find a spot, and if they found a spot, it may be too deep, and I would feel a lot of pain, like my leg would go numb or something like that. It was
Oh
just a lot. It was a lot. And then
yeah.
yeah, and then I did Evrysdi, and I just had a hard time like keeping up with taking it and stuff. I'm not great with taking medication, honestly. I don't really like to take medication.
Mhm.
And then also when I didn't have staff or something, I would have to miss it. So uh,
Oh yeah,
uh,
yeah. Did you find that either one of them worked for you? I mean, but just
honestly, I think they both work. You know,
Mhm,
um, I think Evrysdi probably worked a little more because you were taking it more often than Spinraza. But I
mhm.
did see strengths using both of them. I probably would have stayed on Spinraza if it if it wasn't causing me so much pain. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I totally understand that. Sometimes it's not worth it if it. And
Yeah.
plus anxiety you get every 4 months knowing that you have to go back and do
Yeah.
that.
Yes. Um,
Yeah.
and I had quite a few under my belt, but it was just to the point to where they were thinking about possibly going into my neck,
Mhm,
which I've heard of other people having it administered that way.
mhm,
And then my doctor just said maybe we should try something different. Um, but I would definitely want to try treatment again. With
mhm.
Evrysdi, I'm a little apprehensive because of the fact of you're not being able to use it while you're trying to get pregnant or something. And even though I'm not trying right now, I do want kids eventually. So I don't
Mhm.
want anything to jeopardize that as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully, well, if you ever decide the neck, I actually did have it in the neck the first time I had it done, because I have a rod in my back from scoliosis. And it really wasn't that bad in the neck at all. They kind of go like behind your ear, pretty much is where they go. And it wasn't bad. And then the doctor that was doing it, he unfortunately passed away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they had to find another doctor. When they found a new one, he refused to do the neck because he wasn't comfortable with that, and it is kind of a riskier procedure.
Yeah.
But he told me he could do my back, even though I was fused. He found an opening, and so far I've been doing it in my back for over a year now, and I haven't had any complications.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you have a doctor that's willing to do, to do it in the neck, I don't know. I mean, of course, it's up to you how you
Yeah.
feel about that and talk to all your doctors. But and now they're also coming out with some kind of ports as
Hmm,
well. Have you heard about that?
I haven't.
Yeah, it's a port that they're gonna put and it connects to your spinal fluid. And that way, when you go to get it, they just put it in your port and you're good.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, but I think there's only certain places
Okay.
that will do the port. Yeah, I don't know. I only know one person who actually has it and has used it, but so I don't know a lot about it, but that could be something eventually, you might could look into later on. So, well, all right. Well, the last thing I wanted to ask you, which is the big thing, what is the one thing you would like to advocate the most for the SMA community? Mhm.
Um, wow, because of my professional job, which is an advocate, there's a
Mhm.
lot of things that I would like to advocate for. And one of the most things would be, you know, transportation and also education on like sexuality and sexual health. I think that's something that a lot of people in the disability community don't talk about a lot,
Mhm.
and that causes people with disabilities to get taken advantage of. And I'm trying
Mhm.
to stop that and trying to create awareness to talk about, it's okay to talk about things like this. And
Yeah.
also, I don't like the fact that we cannot get married without having, our services taken from us. And I think that's not fair. We deserve to have the right to marry who we want without fear of getting all of our services taken away from us. The marriage penalty is something that has been talked about a lot more lately.
Mhm.
And I think it's a good thing because there's a lot of people, and there's people I know personally who has not even gotten married, but had just had a commitment ceremony, and um, they're still being brought after.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I totally agree. I know. We definitely need to change that because we definitely deserve to have the life everybody else,
Yeah, I
can
think
live.
yeah, we deserve to have the life that everybody else has, and
Mhm.
we have needs that other people have,
Mhm.
want. We want to travel, we want to do all this type of things,
Mhm.
and there's things that are stopping us. It's not our disabilities. I always say it's not
Mhm.
the fact that we're disabled that stops us. It's society that stops
That
us from doing the things we want to do.
that is exactly right.
Yeah.
That is right for sure. Because there's so many things that are not accessible, and
Hmm.
finding the care to go with us, or the different equipment, that is really true.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I know I'm hoping through us doing this and everything else we're doing that eventually, hopefully, that's all going to change.
Yes, hopefully. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
There's so many things we could fight for. Housing for one is a huge one.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of disabled housing. There's a lot of senior housing, but
Mhm.
there's not a lot of accessible housing that, especially in a budget for people that people can afford. And
Mhm.
they may say it's accessible, but there are still things in there that's like, how do you think this is accessible for me to use?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sometimes I say it is, and it's not for you, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it was so nice talking with you
Yeah,
today.
you too.
I'm so glad we were able to do this, and I hope you stay warm.
I will try. I have my heat on.
I know, for sure. Well, nice talking with you, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.